the use of force that might need to be used.
Mm-hmm.
But once the policing
that when he
system
left that
fails,
courtroom, did you notice what he had on the back of his hands when he left the courtroom the last time?
no.
On the back of his hands, he had the 5 finger lakes, which is where they traffic children. He had it on the back of his hands when they arrested him in the courtroom. The very not this time, but the last time, he had the 5 finger lakes on the back of his hands.
Whoa. My point with what I was telling you about the qualified immunity is it is a setup for failure. It's a double reverse, and when the policing fails, here comes the UN. And I believe that's what the agenda is there. And from what I found, to go further on that, they are recruiting hottie women out of New York, American women, for the UN. Now, could you imagine, going a couple buttons from the top, showing some cleavage, and going into a guy's house that got guns and says, "Give me your guns." He's going to look at the cleavage and go, "Okay, here you go." And it's going to be as easy as that.
It's the truth. The research that I've done would make you sick. Literally make.
Fuck! I tell you what, a fucking good-looking broad like that, because they'll go up to Dinkus' house and like, "Oh, Dinkus, you're gonna have to give me that, give me all you want." Okay, baby, I'll do it for you, baby. Anything for you, baby girl. Yeah. Fuck.
Make you sick.
Well, and that's why I appreciate that there are researchers out there to do that, because it's too much for me. I've actually studied police reform and criminology when I was in college, and that's just not my department, and I appreciate that people are doing that. And to be shut down from doing that, I've got the research on how they're trying to shut down the predator poachers or the predator hunters with the disinfo and agents coming in and trying to blast you as the pedo. See what I'm saying?
Okay, it started like this in the 1970s. You know Michael Aquino, right? Michael Aquino started.
Absolutely. I've gone there. Yep.
And then he recruited all of the military. Now, most of the military is involved because of this, correct? You do know this.
Yep.
So they all became Freemasons, of course, right? The Freemason is the same thing as the Satanic Star. It's the same thing. They're the same exact group, you want to say, okay? And once you start digging, it gets really scary, because eventually, if you dig too far, guess what? You're going to die.
Yeah.
So when I started digging and I started really seeing who was the perpetrators, what was really going on, and the things that really fucking happens in our world, I backed the fuck off, and I was like, whoa, hang on.
Yep.
I don't want to die, so I'm not putting this shit out. I'm not doing this, but it's mostly satanic rituals, it's mostly adrenochrome, and it's mostly child sex labor, and that's all I got to say about that. And most of the police officers are good, but a lot of them are Freemasons. A lot of them do not even know that they are actually Luciferian. That is the whole gist of all of it. Until you get to these certain degrees, right? And then once you get way up there, then that's the life. And if you notice, everything is backwards, forwards. The transgender is being thrown in your face. Have you noticed that, like, Victoria's Secret is now transgender? Have you noticed Playboy is now transgender? Why do you think I made an OnlyFans? Men are sick of seeing men. They're sick of it. They're sick of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, before I got to get out of here, I'm going to show my cam real quick on something here, just to help people in your chat room. Okay, there you go.
Look at that. Just for all you critics, you can shut the hell up about Aaron. Honorable discharge.
Okay, honorably discharged. There you go.
Yeah, that's a real, but thank you for your service, actually. And I think that you know kind of the gist of what I'm actually talking about. And the people that have not done their research, they want to call everybody a pedophile. They want to reverse everything, and they don't really understand what the hell they're even talking about.
Yeah, for people like, and I sometimes name drop, but for people like Lee Veltman to go, Lee name dropper Veltman to go around and associate people with everybody else and say that the dumbs aren't real.
Yep.
Child trafficking isn't real. Adrenochrome isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
But yet people buy into that, just like the Tooth Fairy.
Okay, well, do you remember though? Okay, Aaron, this is how you say it to them. You say, "Do you remember Fear and Loathing that Johnny Depp was in?" Right?
Oh yeah.
Fear and Loathing. What was it that he drank? What was it that the guy?
No, listen, look at Lisa Deepfake. He said, Aaron's accusing me of saying he stole down. He knows it was NSC lady who said that.
Go look it up. I mean, they've been trying to tell you. What did Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton have around their neck? It wasn't their blood.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's so up in the face with Hollywood and so forth that they expect people to become disassociated through the up in your face that it doesn't exist. So the double reverse.
Marcelo says,
exactly.
Aaron, thank you for your service. Semper Fi, WWG, 1 WGA, NCS, WIC.
You know, Nike was a part of that shit just to see how well it would go over. And they found out it didn't go over very well. And they were like,
see, I don't want people who label like Aaron like stolen valor. See, Tacos brings the shit out like blah, blah, blah.
What the fuck?
I remember the first time Aaron told me about like he started on the punch like that. I believe him because I told him saying my uncle was in boot camp. He was in the Navy. My grandfather, he was in the Vietnam War. He has a Purple Heart for that.
Everything else. And you know why all of these?
Even my grandma tells stories every time I go to visit Salem. She talks about stories when my grandpa's lying, how he's stationed with Okanagan.
And so they're trying
how my father, my uncle, and my two aunts were kids like that.
Out there. You see what I mean?
They had to fly over Okanagan back in the day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's.
So my grandpa as well was in the service.
Humiliation ritual or the up in your face.
Yep.
Up in your face type. Yeah, it's some bogus stuff. I think keeping faith in our Lord and Savior and fighting in the spiritual is how we.
China look at Choi,
the fleshly battle is fought. When we fight in the spiritual,
back then, like how Grandma talked about, they like back in the 70s, they lived in Richmond, Virginia. My uncle talked about they lived 2 miles away from a power plant.
Exactly right. And you know what? I want you to write down my email because I want to send you a link to something that I found on YouTube. Now, I had to stop the video like 5 times, I'm not kidding you, and go and throw up. But it just proves my fact of what I've been researching. You might have to
I agree with that. I would like to avoid throwing up, but I'll take your word for it.
You might want to go watch it, seriously. It's a guy who did a documentary, and it's not going to be up very much longer, I'm telling you. When I first found it, there was 15 people. Now there's like 100,000. You know, before long, it's not going to be there no more. It's going to be gone. Right.
That's a lot of the documenting that I've been able to do is get it before it's gone, and I hide it kind of in music with the music, so I almost give a new copyright to some of the stuff that I find that I know is going to go away. Do my streams and kind of hide it with music. Now, I did that with a, you're going to like this, did that with a convicted pedophile, but isn't on the registry. Amazingly enough, his youngest victim was 13. I think it's out of Tennessee. That's why he wasn't on the registry. Now, this is all kind of connected to part of our circles and pockets here. His name is Mark Connors, goes by Cruz, and he was able to try to scrub all of his information off the net, and literally a week before, I was getting it and hiding it. I knew to get it and hide it. And he was actually working with Jason Aldean. I believe he may have been at the Harvest Festival.
Yep.
He might have been the one playing the gunshot sounds through the speakers. No one wants to get into that.
No, and they don't want to say that it was the helicopters, and they don't want to say that people were
right.
And everybody who came out and said the real truth ended up dead.
Yeah, some of these people are in your chat are going to know who that guy is. And some people
hiding in music streams.
It's important to know these things because it's they're letting the pedophiles do some damage. And I believe he might be on a payroll.
There's a lot of them that are, because that's pretty much
Yeah.
what, that was the hidden monster, in America and abroad, was pedophilia. Nobody even knew it. Nobody even recognized it. We just lived our lives and didn't even think that this stuff actually freaking happens.
Yeah. I believe Mark Connors was, he's from Nashville. He's lived in Nashville because of country music. He's apparently a country music star. I think he had something to do with the CMN, the Country Music Awards Festival last year. Okay, but miraculously, and I was seeing a festival, Harvest Festival 2.0, at this last Country Music Awards. But the COVID shut it down.
Says, Mark Connors, yes, Becky D mentioned it.
It's amazing how the COVID has almost paralyzed the schooling, right? Kids going to school in a sense.
Yep.
But either way I look at it, the COVID got the pedophiles that are teachers away from our kids.
Yeah.
That's a positive way. Then time of crisis.
I think there was a big thing with that, and also it stopped the
We have a route, and we have a plan. Work from home if you can.
Yep. Yeah, there's so the time of crisis, once again, people are going to start to show their true colors. Good or bad.
They will. And I mean, it also, it stopped the mass immigration as well, but now look at us. I mean, look at the president. Jesus, like I said, he can't even put two sentences together. It's the most embarrassing thing in the world.
Yeah, he might be short on his adrenochrome supply, or that's a clone there. Which some people think it's a clone.
I actually think, because how many times has Trump said he's shot? Like, shot. But we don't really know. Yep. I mean, it's like we just have to take these pieces and put it together and try to make the gist of it. And we don't know if we're right or we're wrong unless we actually see this shit. Either a survivor or see, a lot of people, even like the crazy lady, has to perpetuate the victimhood.
Yeah.
And stay in victim status. I believe there's a few.
Why?
Well,
it's for me. It's have to stay in that. Why?
I don't know. I mean, it might be that there is so much trauma there. I don't know. But here's the thing. Okay, I believe that there's a survival mode after victimhood into thrival mode. And why aren't people knowing that as a victim, you can go into thrival mode past these other modes and start living your life again? You're victimizing. What they're doing is actually victimizing other victims to create one big cry club. And I'm sorry to put it that way. People are going to be pissed at me for saying that. But the cry club, there's more to life.
Can I ask you a question on this?
Yeah.
Has either one of them been raped? Like, physically raped to where they put the perpetrator in prison? Like, I was physically raped for 10 years by my grandfather. I put him in prison. He was a multi-billionaire, and he got out 2 years later on a technicality that is still on Google today. Look it up. Alvin O. Ennis. E-N-N-I-S. It's still there. Nobody knows how the fuck he got out.
Dox his ass. Just keep doxing his ass.
He's gone.
And I see what you're saying.
He died of a brain cancer in 2004, I believe it was. You can look it up. Alvin Oennis. He's dead. But they let him out of prison because back in 1994, they said that he sodomized me and my sister. Sodomized is two things. Either anal or you give a blowjob, right? But we did the blowjob thing, but we just didn't talk about it because I was in what you call the Stockholm syndrome. My grandpa owned a large dairy farm, and I loved him. And I was 16 years old when I told on my birthday. And I was 6 years old when